Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk about men as a provider. Um, Oftentimes, we hear women being vocal about wanting men as providers, and it's mostly in a concept of if my man cannot take care of me financially, then it's not gonna work, blah blah blah. And this notion is always based on materialistic view of our society right now. The question is, should a man be a provider of his household? My answer is absolutely yes. Most people mistake provision as finances only. However, provision is more than just a financial burden. It is about love, it is about care, security, protection, covering, commitment, and loyalty. This role of a provider is often a man's role. It is a role that the man plays whether they feel like it or not. A role of a father and a husband. Most men abandon this role when things are not going their way or when they lose their jobs or financial security because they feel um, or are deemed unworthy if they can no longer carry the financial role that they are used to. This in turn leaves children vulnerable and the wife exposed. The role of a provider is not based on how much money they have. It is based on integrity, values, morals, and what they are teaching as a leader, and what seed they are planting as a parent and husband. For a man to fully provide for his home, they have to be fully committed. There's a certain standard that he sets for his family, beginning with the wife. This is why we as Africans have the custom of dowry. In our terms, it is called lobola. The dowry is communication between the father and the son-in-law who wants to marry their daughter. And what happens is that through this conversation, the father has to find out if this man is worthy to marry his daughter by checking if he qualifies to take over from him um, as the father of the bride. He does this by having conversations to see where his level of maturity is and if he is capable of not only caring for his daughter, but will he be able to protect and care for her. Is he well enough to even take care of his new family should they have children? This is why some of these negotiations take time because they are still assessing his worthiness. Only when the father deems the groom fit enough to take care of them, he will allow their daughter to be married. Please note the amount charged for the dowry is an estimation of what the father gives, considering the kind of provision he has been supplying to his daughter. Provision is not only about what type of job you have, it is about what kind of a man you are. A woman should never feel um, unsecured and they should never feel like they have to fend for themselves and should never feel like they have to get things done by themselves either because that leaves her with trust issues. It becomes hard for her to trust you if you cannot fully provide for her emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially. A strong man of the house has to be emotionally balanced, someone who doesn't constantly need validation of who he is, someone who knows who they are and are confident not only in themselves but what they have to offer. An emotionally strong man is a safe net for his family. This is not to say that a man cannot cry. On the contrary, it takes a really strong man to show emotions and be vulnerable with his family. He doesn't have to prove anything to the world, but knows that his world reflects who he is. A physically strong man is a bonus. Not only does he provide security physically, but he is he is handy around the house. This is not to say if you're not strong physically, you cannot be handy. No. Helping each other care for your home is the most attractive thing a man can do. He proves that he is reliable and accountable to his partner or wife. In turn, teaching their children um, the power of unity. If you are providing your wife's physical needs in every area, then be very sure that the seed you are planting will easily bring you great fruits of your labor. Like they say, happy wife, happy life. It is important for a man as a provider to be spiritually balanced. That means to have a belief system that you live by. If you don't believe in anything, chances are you won't have morals or values or a code of conduct that you live by. A code of conduct that you live by, which in turn will send your family all over the place because each one will be looking for satisfying their needs as spiritual beings. Division will come in your household to kill and destroy because without a vision or leading, everyone will be scattered all over, and you will soon find yourself frustrated because you won't have any grip of your household because everyone is doing something different to feel like they belong. It is the same thing with mental health. Most African men don't really take care of their mental health because they define manhood as one without emotions, and in the long run hurts them mentally because now they are not able to have good relationships because they see vulnerability as weakness. A mentally stable man is one who understands that every decision he makes is for the good of his family at whatever cost. How you think as a man defines you, or it sets your standard. There's a verse in Proverbs 23, I think it's verse 7, which says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." This has to do with your vision for your life. And there are some people who can have great visions but no action plan. But being mentally healthy means you understand the responsibility that you carry as a provider. Meaning you have the idea in your head, then you devise a plan of action to achieve what you set out and then do it. If it doesn't work the first time, change the plan, not the dream. The most important thing you can ever do for yourself as you build the life you want is to choose a partner who sees you and sees your vision. Someone who will not only lift you up, but hold you up. A pillar, a helper, and someone who will be your strength in time of need, and not someone who will cause you stress in the process of you becoming all that you are meant to be. With that understanding, when you prosper, you open the door for your partner to prosper as well. A mentally healthy man is one who can provide support to his wife to be everything that God has called her to be. Every successful household is made of two people who are not only strong financially, but their fruits are visible to the nations, for the nations to see. This is why you find couples like the Obamas who are both strong in their own fields because they understand that if one wins, they both do. Remember that in building each other, the children should not feel neglected. Mental health depends a lot on what you feed your mind. Acquiring knowledge and understanding is a sure way to build a strong foundation, meaning you feed your mind with books and you can never learn enough. And as a leader, it is important to acquire leadership skills. Being accountable to a male figure who has paved the way is also important. And don't ever stop being a student of life. Being financially stable doesn't really mean you have to be a millionaire, but it just means you need to have a good relationship with money, with the understanding that money works for you, not the other way around, and not operate from a point of need or poverty. A poverty mindset always sees lack and feels lack, and that creates insecurities, and it will make you feel inadequate if your wife earns more than you. Then you feel uncomfortable or less of a man, forgetting this is a partnership. If she wins, you win. If your partner's success bothers you, then you're not really ready or mature enough to become the provider that you are meant to be. A provider is a man of sound mind, a man who is accountable, responsible, reliable, and available, being holistically available to cater to the needs of his entire household, knowing that you are working towards a vision and accomplishing it depends entirely on you and the partner you choose. Most people want the benefits rather of marriage while single. It doesn't work that way. You shouldn't wait for a man to come along to make you feel whole, and vice versa. If you are in a process of dating with intentions to get married, then you need to learn about each other fully well. Yes, first impressions do last. If a man doesn't at least offer to pay the whole bill or takes charge and pays the whole bill the first time, you have to kind of like wonder if that's the kind of man that you want. And if a woman demands to be taken to a posh restaurant that she can't even afford to pay for herself, then you have to wonder if that's the kind of partner you want. No, it is not your boyfriend's responsibility to pay for your debts. But if he is willing to help you out, then that is a man of substance. But you cannot hold him hostage when he's unable to pay all of your bills. You don't owe a guy sex just because he bought you gifts or takes you out. Make your intentions very clear from the beginning. If you want a man that will respect, honor you, and value you, teach him how you want to be treated and never go on sale, because things of value never go on sale. And this has nothing to do with him having money or him having the amount of money that you want him to spend on you. Has nothing to do with that, but it has everything to do with the character of a person. I think I should end it there today. I will end it here for now. I hope this helps you guys as you prepare either for marriage or on your journey to becoming single and whole. Until next time, to God be the glory.